Mohammed PSMNEWS Jamhuriya ke amikamu sajida kam fahakuleve breast cancer awareness symposium ki mi mifarme kuriya kenda symposium ki mege faswana symposium kam fahakuleve raja balala iruga raja ka miharu cancer je mi honge adadu mi annani ehturuwamu mege tereka miharu raja ke emme aamu ek cancer ke kutka mi fahakureveni breast cancer wata uramati ge cancer kam fahakuleve mege turabas alaya je cancer adi mi thyroid ange je cancer mi mi rajaka aginakam fahaga bakureve rajaka mi hatanan ayruga ami cancer je mi honge ami tafas saptake ekure fanuwenne ehnamas miharu mi tafas saptan ekurum ge masaketa akuramun ebagende megoto male sarhavta balala ayruga male hulumale hospital adi IGMH hospital ga mi cancer farwada monta mi honge mi adata denagatum ge masake kuramum medani qawmi daftaren ekulam ge masake kuramum dairo mi getereka mihara balala ayruga asaste ken ha mi homi වනි මේ දෆ්තරුක අමි රජිස්ටර් කරෆකම් ෆාහ කොලවේ මේකදොරවස් අමුලි රාජ්‍යක මේ තෆාස් සාප්තන් එකුරුම්ගේ මසකෙත කොරියකෙන් ගොස රාජ්‍යක මිහතරන් අයරුක මේ බාලි ජෙෆාවා මිහුන්ගේ මේ ඩේටාබේස් එක්ලවාලුම්ගේ මසකෙත කුරමො මේදනි රාජ්‍ය පලාලායරුක රාජ්‍යක ගයින්ගෙන් නාරා බල්තහක මිහො මරුවා අදදු ඉතුරුමොන් අන්නයරුක මේකතරේක අට්ටිය හතරු ඉන්සත මිහුන කීමේ ෆදකන්ගේ නාරා බල්තහක මරුවා මිහුන්ක ෆාහ කොලවේ ඒකතරේ ගකන satarin sateke mi cancer bali jehiken marwa mi hun mi rajeka mi cancer payya mewagoto farwa demo mi anani hulmal hospital adi ajme hospital kam faha kolve adi mi hitume rajeka mi fula kurumata ka sarkaru masaketa ke kuramo mi anani megotun cancer payya mi farwa dinumata ka khas hospital agaim kuruma sarkari nimma fababe adi e amaza wasul mataka masaketa ke kuramo mi anani asanda ka tafas saptaka balala ka sarmana ಮರಪುಟ ಫಾಗೆ ಬಕುರೆವೆ ಮಿ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಬೇರ ಮಿ ಫರ್ವಾ ಹೋತ ಅಂದ ಫರಾತ ಗತರೆ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಅಂಬಲಿ ಜೆಫಾ ತಿಬೆ ಮಿ ಹುನ್ನ ಮಿ ಫರ್ವಾ ತಿರ್ಮಟಕ ಖರದು ಕುರೆವೇಕ asada scheme ke iturabas ami rajya kam for kote ehen he me scheme tako misal ka danwa kam ka wani nama zakat fund bes awara podu harate me cancer payya ami farwa dinu mataka ami khardu kuraka afaha ge bakureve umurun duwas ve me honna adi zuwan umur fura ka me honna bes ami haru ami cancer ke eke bavat ke balita me jehmun anne iruka me kan kam helun tergoma adi me balita ko rakha terve tipuma asihi tajriba karu adi doctor una adi kama gulu hori fara तको मिसमियाननी इरशादमु हासकोदेक अल्मंगे मी खेम के वट्टफाळी अदि तिरुलुम के हमी वट्टफाळी हमी बदल कुरुमटक मसकतके कुरंगे बच्चे मिंगियो खाना क्यों मादी हशकड़ा फैता अमी खाना क्यों मुहिम मी गितुरबस अमी कसरत कुरुमा हेलिफेलवे उळु मी मुहिम कमे के खुद का फाग बकुरेवे मी फता बलितको दुराला रक्का तेरबो अदि मी कुरी बैग मी बलिया स्क्रीन कुरुमा कुरी बैग मी बली denagatunge kankam kuranga balse kuriala ami bali denage gena vech kam ka wani nama me bali rakatrum ka gotum mi fiol taken elkem mitani adan kurimes fa kuri faden mi miharu mi hotel jenga kuriya kentu mang hamajef mani breast cancer awareness symposium miharu mi rasmiyat fish mang hamajef mani ade mi rasmiyat shafel mi kotteveni rasul jumhuriya ke amikam ka fa kulve mi hasabu mi rasmiyat almet befna hame kelestena
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الناس قد جاءتكم موعظة من ربكم موعظة من ربكم وشفاء في الصدور وهدى ورحمة في الصدور وهدى ورحمة للمؤمنين قل بفضل الله وبرحمته فبذلك فليفرحوا هو خير مما يجمعون قل أرأيتم ما أنزل الله لكم من رزق فجعلتم منه حراما وحلالا قل الله أذن لكم أم على الله تفترون وما ظن الذين يفترون على الله الكذب يوم القيامة إن الله لذو فضل على الناس ولكن أكثرهم لا يشكرون صدق الله العظيم.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning, everyone. Firstly, I'd like to thank our registered nurse Aisha Ali Wahid from the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology for that beautiful recitation. Thank you, Aisha. I'm Dr. Shafag, a medical officer from the National Cancer Center, and I'm honored to be your MC for this important event today. We are especially privileged to have with us Her Excellency, Madam Sajida Mohammed, First Lady of the Republic of Maldives. Thank you, Madam Sajida, for gracing this event with your presence. It's truly an honor to be part of this event as the Department of Radiology continues to conduct this impactful symposium. This is the 5th time. We are proud to witness the growth of this event, which has become even bigger, thanks to STO Medical Services and Pharmacy Management, as well as the invaluable contributions from various departments. This multidisciplinary approach is vital to our mission of providing the best care for our patients. And I'm confident that with this collaboration, we will thrive in our effort. I'd also like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of you today, especially those who have joined from different hospitals, for your participation and support. Together, we are making a difference. Now, to officially welcome all of you, I'd like to invite Dr. Basma Ibrahim Sobir, Senior Consultant and Head of Department of Radiology, to deliver a welcome introduction and remarks. The stage is yours, Dr. Basma.
Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Her Excellency, Madam Sajida Mohammed, First Lady of the Republic of Maldives, CEO of Dharmamanta Hospital, Mr. Ibrahim Abdur Razak Halib, Medical Director, Dr. Zeba, STOMD and CEO, Mr. Shimad, and all our sponsors, distinguished guests, doctors, nurses, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to all of you. On behalf of the Department of Radiology, the organizing committee, and our sponsors, it gives me great pleasure to warmly welcome all of you to the 5th Annual Breast Cancer Awareness Symposium today. First of all, I would like to thank Her Excellency, Madam Sajida Mohammed, First Lady of the Republic of Maldives, for accepting our invitation and gracing this special occasion with your presence. Madam, your participation in this symposium reflects your dedication and commitment to the overall well-being of women in the Maldives. As a daughter of a mother who fought bravely against breast cancer twice, I understand how deeply this topic affects all of us here today. And it is one of the driving forces behind me when I advocate for early detection of breast cancer. As you all know, breast cancer globally is on the rise, and the numbers from Maldives are no different. In 2022, out of 231 new cases detected, 85 or 37% were breast cancer cases. In the same year, breast cancer was also amongst the leading cause of cancer-related deaths in Maldives, in Maldivian women. I am sure most if not all of you personally know a friend, a family member, or a colleague affected by breast cancer, and that indicates the burden of breast cancer in our society. This symposium aims to bring a platform where health experts from various departments of the hospital share their expertise, knowledge, and their visions to optimize our services. It highlights the importance of screening mammograms in the early detection of breast cancer, the role of ultrasound-guided biopsy, and how it has changed breast cancer management and diagnosis. I can also assure you there are exciting topics such as advancements of immunohistochemistry, new chemotherapy advancements, post-surgical treatments, and pain management after surgery. The importance of a good and balanced diet in the cancer journey, how physiotherapy and mental health positively affects the quality of life after surgery and during chemotherapy will also be emphasized. In the previous years, in every October, I remember we had a small group of us discussing the latest advancements in breast cancer management. However, over the years, I am truly delighted to see the various departments in our hospital contributing to this event in making it a success. Your contribution with such wonderful posters, collaborative teamwork, and the collective shared vision will be fruitful in providing the best care for our patients who have to go through this journey of breast cancer. We hope you take this opportunity to network, take home important messages, and find it useful for your clinical practice every day. Together, we can drive meaningful progress and tackle some of the most pressing challenges of our time. Once again, thank you and welcome you all to an exciting day of learning.
Thank you, Dr. Basma, for those warm words. So our first session today will focus on screening practices. Please welcome Dr. Fatmat Mufliha, Senior Consultant in Radiology, to talk about mammograms as the gold standard for the breast cancer screening.
Assalamu alaikum. The First Lady of Republic of Maldives, Madam Her Excellency Madam Sajida Mohammed, CEO of Dharmamanta Hospital, Deputy CEO, our MD, and HODs, MD and CEO of STO, and all the dignitaries and ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. So we'll be talking about screening mammogram and why it is important. So screening mammogram some technical difficulties. So I would like to tell this in Divahi so that everyone can understand. I want to reach out to maximum amount of people. So in Divahi I would say what it is. Screening mammogram ki eppes alamate nufennanis uramatiga hede X-ray. Mi screening mammogram hedeni salis aharum matige anghem befuluna. So screening mammogram is done for asymptomatic patients, and it is done above 40 years. And why do we target 40-year-olds? As person ages, the density of the breast becomes less, and we will be able to see the pathology. Pathology in sense the cancer. So there were randomized and observational studies done, and we have seen that there decreases 40% of mortality, and when it is early detected, the treatment, the rigorous treatment is cut down, and so decreases the mortality and the outcome of the surgeries and the chemotherapies which is given. So as you can see from all the observational trials as displayed, that it decreases the mortality. So mammogram, we follow the American College of Radiology, where it is recommended to do above 40 years, and when the above 45 years, it is a must to do yearly the screening mammogram. And when above 54 years, biennially, that means every other year, the mammogram should be done. So there are some risk factors, and I would like to note that when there is a family history, we will do above 35 as well. So I wanted to highlight that as well. So I would like to show you how a mammogram is done. So on the right side, you can see that that is the machine, and the need for the compression is to see the maximum amount of breast tissue so that we will not miss the pathology. So one of the reasons why there's hesitancy to do a mammogram is due to the pain. But the compression is very much needed. That's why we need to do it. I will be showing some data we collected from some small surveys we have done at the end of the presentation. So there are main two views we'll be seeing, that is the craniocaudal and the MLO view. So as you can see in the middle, there is the plate which we are very afraid of. You can see, you will be seeing that at the end. So this on the lower end, you can see how an image is formed. So the next view we see is the MLO view. And there are supplementary images we do to see if there is a pathology we see in those images, then we will go for compression view. But I would like to very happily say that we have in IGMH the digital breast tomosynthesis, which is a 3D image we form so that we don't miss the pathology. So this service is available since 2019. It is a thin slices we take so that we can see a 3D image of the pathology, as you can see on the images. Just a illustration how clearly it can be seen. So the conventional 2D mammogram, as you can see from the flower, the petals are more nicely depicted and seen on 3D mammogram. As you can see on dense breast we say when the white colored part you see is dense, and this will hamper the visibility of the pathology. As you can see on the left side, the 3D mammogram, you can depict as you can see with this circle. So since I've been talking about the density, I thought I will just show you what I mean by density. So on the right side, you can see how the density decreases as the woman ages. This is an illustration of it. So when I said asymptomatic, that means that there is no lump. When there is no lump or any other symptoms, you can detect the pathology from a mammogram. So the main thing we look for is microcalcification. There are some benign and malignant. Benign means that it will not spread to the body and it's not a cancer. And there are types of microcalcifications. We say that is malignant. That means that it has the potency to spread to the whole body. These are some examples of the benign and malignant ones I explained. So, but this is more of a technical detail, so I'll skip through it. So, the other thing, if we see a lesion, then we have to characterize it as well. So, these are some benign findings and malignant findings. So we were thinking the compliance of mammogram to be worldwide is decreased because of the pain component. So we thought we will have a small survey to see that. So as you can see, everyone knows that it is available, but there's some percentage we have to work on. For example, mammogram, saris aharum mati anghembe furunang hedekang available kang ingilavato kurisuala jawab devamung data heri feni wada gannawana mehar slide then so then one of the questions we asked is, there's 1% chance that male breast can have a breast cancer as well. So as you can see, when we ask the question is about we can see that the percentage of people who did not know about the male breast cancer was quite high. So I thought I'll just display some research which has been done. As you can see, about 70% from our survey as well, it shows about 70, the same amount, same percentages hesitate to do the mammogram due to the pain component. And they don't come back to do mammogram in about 25 to 40% cases. So we have to work on it, and we have to make people aware that it is a pain for a small period of time. They think the compression part will be quite long because the whole procedure takes about 20 to 30%. That means that you have to get ready, and so all components, total whole procedure takes about 30 minutes, but the compression part takes only 20 to 30 seconds. So it is for a greater good to save lives. The compression, a mammogram is very effective and a gold standard for screening above 40 years. Now people will be thinking, why 40 years? The risk increases with age. That's the first point. Second point is that I was talking about the density. So the density decreases with age, and so the visibility of pathology is increased. So mammogram itself has its pros and cons. So when we don't see when there is dense breast, some 40 to 45 years, even 50 years, we have seen very dense breast. So in those cases, we go to other modalities like ultrasound and MRI. So as you can see that it decreases the for a need for the extensive surgeries and mortality as well. So early detection is very important. I'm coming to the end quite soon. I think I have taken a lot of time. Yeah. So I just wanted to emphasize about, just before I finish, we go through this in name of beauty, and even we go through this in the name of beauty. This takes a long time, and I'm talking about 20 to 30 seconds of compression and pain. And it was found in most of the research that after 10 minutes the pain is gone, and this pain will stay for quite a while. So I think it is time for us to stand up and advocate on the screening mammogram. I think we have to outreach. As we are scattered, we need to outreach, we need to voice it out. So I hope from today onwards, more people will advocate on this. Thank you for spending the time with me and listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mufliha, for that insightful session. Up next, we will explore the psychological aspects of oncology. Our principal clinical psychologist, Dr. Afia Ali, will present this session on facing fear, finding strength. Dr. Afia.
Assalamu alaikum. Her Excellency Madam Sajda Mohammed, First Lady of the Maldives, and distinguished guests. I am actually honored to be here to talk about two topics close to my heart, and it's cancer and mental health. So living with cancer can be filled with twists, turns, and unexpected loops. Beyond the physical challenges of treatment and managing symptoms, the emotional toll can be just as profound. From fear to anxiety and moments of happiness or hope and resilience, and navigating the emotional roller coaster can be difficult. And to get through, we need the support from loved ones, support from health professionals, and support from the community. The fear of unknown is something we all experience, and that goes for cancer patients, and I think it's even more profound for them. Fear of the unknown, fear of the future, the hopes and dreams that we all actually, experience or hope for, and what lies ahead. So it can shadow over everyone's, or people with cancer and the families. And it's important to talk about it, it's important to address, because the emotional and psychological impact and the impact of or the consequences can also have outcomes or impact on the outcome of treatments and the quality of life. So, as you can see from the typical cancer trajectory, people go through different stages, from the time of diagnosis to recurrence, palliative care, and end-of-life care. And throughout all these stages, psychological intervention support is necessary. And it can vary, it can change as you go through these different stages. So why is it so important? Well, it's undeniable, as Dr. Basma has mentioned, that we all, in one way or the other, have experienced cancer through loved ones. We know a colleague, we know a family member, and friends. So we all have experienced it. And psychological distress is common. And it's also understandable response to a diagnosis when you're diagnosed with cancer, and also living beyond cancer. Cancer and its treatment have the potential to significantly impact mental health, the physical health, socio-economic status, and majority of people, they use different resources, including their own inner strengths, external support systems, and the guidance of trusted health professionals. And it's important to know and also understand that majority of them don't need specialist mental health services. However, they all need the support in different forms, in different ways. As for some, the impact of cancer and its treatment can be overwhelming. And we also know that following a diagnosis, and also even after treatment and after they're living fine, and living healthy, that psychological consequences or impact can linger, it can stay. And so it's important to understand. And the prevalence, it's undeniable. There's internationally thousands and thousands of studies available, and it shows that anxiety, depression is high among cancer patients. And several studies also confirm that patients have a diagnosable psychiatric disorder compared to the normal population. And 59% of survivors and patients with cancer reported moderate fear of occurrence or progression once they've been diagnosed. And also 58% of people diagnosed feel their emotional needs are not met. And also there's studies that talk about the suicide risk being high among the cancer patients. And also, we cannot deny the impact of cancer on family. And the studies show that more than 50% of family members actually experience some form of or severe form of psychological difficulties, adjustment difficulties, and stress. So this is an important area because fear and uncertainty is a huge factor that impacts on cancer patients. And this is particularly the blue boxes indicate that they are more significant when it comes to risk factors associated fear of cancer recurrence and progression. In addition, being a female, and also at baseline, before the diagnosis, what were their psychological strengths were, or are they already, do they have a diagnosed mental illness? So these factors can impact on how they cope with cancer. So, looking at us, we have very limited data available, but however, we know from our experience that the burden is growing, and we need to do something about it. The National Cancer Control Plan of Maldives 2022 to 2026 actually highlights two important strategies. And one, the strategic objective 3 actually talks about promoting evidence-based treatments, and it does actually talk about the importance of psychological services and access to these. And the strategic objective 4 talks about expanding coverage of palliative care and supportive care. And this includes providing psychosocial support for cancer patients, doctors, nurses, and other related professionals that need to undergo training to cater for the need. Okay. So, what is psycho-oncology or psychosocial oncology? Now, it's a topic that's now addressed or talked about when we talk about cancer treatments. Psycho-oncology or psychosocial oncology is a cancer specialty of research and practice that combines behavioral, psychological, social, and emotional factors with physical aspects of cancer. And it's also about the impact of patients, about this having an impact on patients, their families, and healthcare professionals. And the definition actually can be adapted depending on the context and organization. So it can be very broad, it can be very specific. Anyone know who this is? Jimmy Holland. She is a psychiatrist who actually asked the question, how do we make life better for cancer patients? And she is a world-renowned psychiatrist who pioneered the field of psycho-oncology. And she recognized the need to treat the emotional trauma experienced by cancer patients. She also played a role in the development of the National Comprehensive Cancer Network Distress Thermometer that's used internationally. And she, in her late life, in her career, she was actually interested in the survivor guilt, diminishing the stigma of cancer diagnosis, and evaluating ways to lessen cancer side effects like depression, anxiety, and fatigue with medication and other treatments. So what does the best practice guidelines say? So it says that we have to have a tiered model of psychological assessment and support, and it should be provided by all MDT members, so multidisciplinary team members, and services must be accessible in hospitals and community. It should be evidence-based and should address range of psychosocial health needs, including physical, informational, emotional, psychological, social, and spiritual. Must be family-centered and flexible and should meet the needs of the patients and families. So the current status of psychosocial care in the country, well, it's almost non-existent, really. In 2016, Cancer Society of Maldives actually unveiled its cancer support group, where I want to acknowledge this. And they have been tirelessly running the support group, and they know how challenging it is because it does not cater for the needs of everyone. Health professionals have no special training to provide psychosocial support. Mental health services in government hospitals have no specific services or teams to support cancer patients, and they are unable to prioritize cancer patients due to the high volumes and wait lists. So what next? Well, we, the state, the health agencies, the professionals, we need to urgently work together to map resources and adopt a cancer psychosocial pathway. As we do not have an oncology team in the hospital or anywhere in the country, we need to allocate resources to ensure a psycho-oncology service is available to deliver the outcomes indicated in the pathway, including closer working partnerships across primary care and improved access to psychological services within government hospitals and private sector. So I have come up with a model based on the evidence and guidelines. So the tiered model will look like this, where the bottom, the majority of people will have minimal or mild distress, and they will need, what they need will be information and practical support. Maybe a cancer helpline can be established. We can talk about that later. A general support group in the community, and maybe more groups in the wider atolls, just like what Cancer Society of Maldives is running. And to the group that's experiencing mild to moderate distress can have peer support, cancer helpline, psychological counseling by nurses or oncology team with training, moderate to severe distress group will have specialist therapy, counseling services, and nurse-led counseling. And those who experience severe to acute distress will have specialist comprehensive psychological intervention, psychiatric treatment, and MDT support. So, this is something we need to do, and we can start with IGMH. So, at the time of diagnosis and ongoing support, everyone should have a screening for psychosocial distress. And this can be done by the oncology teams, and we can discuss how that's done. And training can be provided to do that. And based on the screening, the patients that experience mild symptoms can be provided with psychosocial support from the oncology team, or they can be referred to support groups. Information can be given through digital material, and then the dotted lines are services we don't have, but we can create those by training and utilizing community groups to provide basic psychosocial counseling. We can also work with the universities, because we have many students training in psychology and counseling, and we can bring them as interns, and we can perhaps have an MOU and where it's compulsory that they work with this specific group. Modules can be taught in the university degrees to learn and understand how you work with cancer patients. When it's moderate to severe, the referral will be done by the MDT team. So, and they will be referred to either to NCMH or National Center for Mental Health, and we will form a small team that specifically will work with the cancer patients. Or some patients can be sent to the private sector depending on the need and also urgency, and if they have to wait too long, we can develop a process of ensuring that they get support right away. This is a proposed model that obviously needs discussions and collaboration, but I just want to leave it there for everyone to think about and everyone to come on board so that we can start this as soon as possible, because we have been waiting way too long. And on this note, I would like to thank you once again for this opportunity to come and talk and present my topic. Thank you very much.
What a thought-provoking presentation, Dr. Afia. Thank you. Let's now listen to some remarks from Fatma Limia, Manager of STO Medical Services and Pharmaceuticals, before we move on.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Her Excellency, First Lady of the Maldives, Madam Sajida Mohammed, CEO, Dharmavanta Hospital, Ibrahim Abdul Razzaq Halim, CEO and Managing Director of STO, Mr. Shemad Ibrahim, respected senior officials of IGMH, Hulmale Hospital, STO and AstraZeneca, esteemed healthcare professionals from our health facilities, and my dearest colleagues. Good morning, Assalamu alaikum. Today, as we gather to mark the Breast Cancer Awareness Day, we are reminded of the crucial role each one of you plays in the fight against cancer. Breast cancer is a leading cause of cancer around the globe, even in Maldives, among all the women. And while advances in treatment and early detection have saved countless lives, there remains a lot more to be done. First, I would like to acknowledge the unwavering commitment and tireless efforts in providing care, support, and hope to patients battling with cancer. Your expertise, empathy, and dedication made a profound difference, often turning the tide in the most challenging circumstances. However, our work doesn't stop at just raising awareness. One of the critical aspects we need to focus on is ensuring the availability of effective and affordable medicines. Many patients still face barriers in accessing essential treatments in our country too. It is our collective responsibility. And here we advocate for better availability of medicines. Working with policymakers and collaboratively with the stakeholders to bring life-changing drug within the reach of all who need them all. We must stand firm in our commitment to make care equitable and accessible. Equally important is investing in our health professionals in their professional growth. In our evolving field of technological advancement, continued education, specialized trainings, and opportunities to collaborate with experts worldwide can significantly enhance our ability to offer the best care possible. By investing in your skills and knowledge, we not only elevate the standards of care, but also drives innovation and hope for better outcomes in treatment. On this moment, I would like to express our sincere appreciation to AstraZeneca for their unwavering support in providing valuable platforms for our healthcare professionals. Their commitment to facilitate the knowledge enhancement and professional development is commendable. In conclusion, today is a day to renew our pledge. A pledge to make medicines accessible, to invest in ourselves and our health professionals, and to continue spreading awareness together. So together we make lasting impact in the fight against breast cancer, ensuring no patient is left behind. Thank you for your dedication, and let's keep pushing forward, united in our mission to save lives. Thank you all. Wishing you a successful conclave ahead.
Thank you, Limya. So we're going to switch things up a bit. We invite our colleagues from the dietetics and medical nutrition team to lead us through the story of TAS, SAS, and PAS.
ಅದೇ ಮಿಹಾರು ಮಿ ಕುರಿಯತ್ತ ಆ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ಸಿಯಮಕಿ ಏಕ್ ತುಹಗ ಮುದತಗ ಕುರಿತ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ಸಿಯಮ್ ದೆಮ್ಮಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ಸಿಯಮ ಬಲಾಲ ಇರುಗ ಮಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ಸಿಯಮ್ಗ ಹುಳುಮಾಲ್ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ ಅದೇ ಅಜೆಮಿಚ್ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ಗ ಫರವ ತಿರುಮಟ್ಟ ಕಾರ್ಕೈತರವ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನಾದಿ ಮಿ ದಾಯರ ಕಮ ಗುಳುಂಗುರಿ ಫರತ compared ba munda kan faha kuleve mi some person
So exciting things take time. We're having a little bit of a trouble setting this up, but so we're going to be doing the quiz after the tea break, if that's okay. Now, it's my distinct honor to welcome Her Excellency Madam Sajida Mohammed, First Lady of the
muhimu malumataka hissa kurma hamajefa babe.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. CEO of Male Group of Hospitals, Ibrahim Abdul Razzaq Halim, doctors, nurses, healthcare professionals present here today, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and a very good morning. I'm pleased to join you today as we gather to confront a challenge that weighs heavily on our nation and our hearts. The rise of cancer in the Maldives, particularly breast cancer, is a matter that touches every community, every family, and for many of us, it hits even closer to home. This issue is not just medical, it's personal, and it's urgent. Cancer, and breast cancer especially, is not just a statistic or a distant possibility. It's a devastating reality that strikes with little warning and leaves a lasting impact on those it touches. We are here not only to discuss it, but to stand together in the fight for prevention, better treatment, and ultimately a cure. Together, we can turn this tide. Cancer is a relentless adversary. It robs us for our loved ones, tests our spirit, and leaves scars that may never fully heal. Yet, in its shadow, we find stories of unimaginable courage and resilience. I have witnessed the heartbreak of losing loved ones to breast cancer, and I have also seen the incredible strength of those who survived, women who have risen from the battle, embodying the spirit of warriors. They are living testaments to the power of the human spirit. Their stories inspire us to keep pushing forward, no matter how tough the road. But we cannot leave this fight to the brave few. We as a society have a collective duty to do more. We must speak louder, act faster, and stand firmer in our resolve to combat breast cancer. That's why today, as we mark Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I am filled with hope that together we will make a difference. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the remarkable teams at IGMH for organizing this critical event. Your dedication is saving lives. As we confront the disease, it is essential to understand it deeply. Knowledge is power. To defeat any menace, we must first uncover its roots, and that is true for breast cancer. We need to delve into the data, the rates of incidence, the effectiveness of treatments, and the life-saving power of early screening. These are not just numbers. They are the stories of mothers, sisters, daughters, and friends. The truth we face is stark. Breast cancer is on the rise in the Maldives. This is a reality we cannot afford to ignore, and with that truth comes as responsibility to take immediate and targeted action for early detection and treatment, and to craft policies that will curb its spread. We also know that breast cancer remains the most common cancer among women, and early detection is our best defense. It is the difference between life and death for so many. To the women of the Maldives, young and adult women, for far too long, decisions about our health and our future have been made without our voices at the table. We are still far from achieving true gender equality, but taking care of our families, our communities, and even ourselves have always been the women's responsibility. This is why it is imperative that we take proactive steps to safeguard our health. I cannot stress enough the importance of building breast cancer awareness and increasing accessibility to early detection and treatment facilities in place. We, as women, are faced with numerous societal hurdles, yet we must do our best within our means to make conscious decisions to look after our health and seek out health care available to us. In support of that, I cannot stress enough the importance of building breast cancer awareness and increasing accessibility to early detection and treatment facilities in place. I call on all women, in particular those above 40 years of age, to do a mammogram at the earliest if you have not had done one recently. In between screenings, monthly self-examination at home are a proactive step we can individually take for early detection. We now have a diverse range of treatment options available locally, including chemotherapy, targeted therapy, and hormone therapy. I'm pleased to know that chemotherapy is now offered by many hospitals across the country, a milestone for increasing accessibility to treatment across the country. As women who are often the primary caretakers in our families, it's often impossible to take time away from our responsibilities. This is why getting the right treatment and aftercare in the country while being surrounded by family and friends is nothing short of a blessing. We are grateful for it. I would like to take this opportunity to comment and convey my appreciation to the dedicated efforts of IGMH to tackle breast cancer in the Maldives. Right now, IGMH is the only institution in the country that offers 3D mammograms. For many of us who are not able to travel abroad frequently, this provides considerable ease to do regular checkups. Research shows that healthy lifestyle choices play a significant role in the prevention and cure of breast cancer. While contracting cancer despite our lifestyle is possible, for genetic factors and involuntary environmental exposure to chemicals and radiation play a role. Staying active, a nutritious diet, abstaining from tobacco, smoking, and other substance abuse are some of the things we do have control over. Adopting such habits when we are young and well may be effective preventative measures. The Maldives has made remarkable strides in the health sector over the recent decades. The country has achieved remarkable success and has met several sustainable development goals. Additionally, the Maldives has seen substantial improvements in life expectancy. Providing access to quality health care remains a high priority of the government. The Maldives is committed to enhancing public health and ensuring a resilient, responsive healthcare system. Addressing cancer requires a comprehensive and multifaceted approach. The government, in collaboration with various stakeholders, has implemented several policies and initiatives to combat this disease effectively, including through initiatives such as the National Cancer Control Plan 2022 to 2026, developed in collaboration with the World Health Organization. The government is also committed to establishing a state-of-the-art cancer hospital to alleviate the suffering of cancer patients. Just this week, the government has announced stringent measures towards banning vaping and tobacco consumption, these measures are necessary, and I hope that the public can support these endeavors for the future of our nation. Breast cancer is no doubt a brutal challenge. The ones it took are not by any measures any weaker than those fought it. Even today, breast cancer remains a sensitive and often stigmatized topic in the Maldives, reflecting broader cultural taboos around discussing women's health issues. Many women face significant social pressures and fear of judgment, which can lead to delays in seeking medical help and support. This stigma is compounded by concerns about marriage prospects and fertility, which are often questioned when a woman is diagnosed with long-term illness. I commend efforts by organizations such as the Cancer Society of Maldives, which are working to break down these barriers and offer evidence-based information. I call on our society, all women and men, to never hesitate to talk about health issues, as it can be a matter of life or death of our mothers, wives, sisters, or our children. Prevention may not be in our hands, but advocacy and awareness and taking proactive measure is. Let us work together as families, societies, to tackle the issue of all cancers, especially breast cancer. Let us, as a society, give our endless love and support to breast cancer patients. The moral support that we can offer will have a strong impact on the mental health and well-being of cancer patients. Let us do all that we can. Do help them fight the fight. Let us take a moment to remember the mothers, sisters, friends that we lost to breast cancer and cherish the journeys of those that survived. I thank you all.
Thank you, First Lady, for those inspiring words and supporting this effort in raising awareness around breast cancer. As we approach the closing of our official ceremony, it is my pleasure to invite Dr. Mohammed Shifan, our only local oncosurgeon in the country, to deliver the word of thanks. Dr. Shifan, while we thank you for your constant availability, the floor is yours for a word of thanks.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning. Her Excellency, Madam Sajda Mohammed, First Lady of the Republic of Maldives, distinguished guests, partners, participants, my dear colleagues, Assalamu alaikum. First and foremost, our deepest gratitude to the Honorable First Lady of the Maldives for gracing this event with your presence. Your unwavering commitment to health causes, particularly women's health, continues to inspire us all. Thank you. We would also like to thank the Radiology Department in partnership with Pathology, Obstetric and Gynae, Dietetics, the National Cancer Center and Holmale Hospital for their exceptional collaboration in bringing this symposium to life. Our heartfelt appreciation extends to the Cancer Society of Maldives for your steadfast support. A special thank you to State Trading Organization and AstraZeneca, our trusted sponsors, for your consistent backing of this initiative. Your contributions have been instrumental in making this event a continued success. The symposium underscores the vital role of teamwork and collaboration in tackling breast cancer. By working together across disciplines and sectors, we can build stronger, more effective solutions. Let us commit to further strengthen these partnerships for the benefit of all. at last, but not the least, our dear medical officers, Dr. Rifa, Dr. Shafak, Dr. Zafaf, and Dr. Juma, and the team of nurses that we have. They have done an exceptional job. They've gone beyond, and they have really highlighted, and they have worked tirelessly. I know they are overworked and understaffed, but they have done an exceptional job. Thank you all once again, and we look forward to continuing this vital work together. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shifan. We'll now take a short break. Please feel free to network, relax, and also stretch. We also have some posters outside, so please take some time out to look through them as well. Thank you so much, everyone.
breast cancer awareness symposium fashion ke rasmiyat sharfakat bafmani rasul jumhuriya ka amikamal sajida rasmiyat ga rasul jumhuriya ka amikamal deke waqfula balala iruka breast cancer ami raje ga hitur muda kam fa kurebe ademikama helun teruma samal kandik bes mi madam mani alialwala wa fami gituru mi payya durala farwa hoda balin aragatuma ki muhim kam ke utga fa kuraba sihi masal takamedu mi waqful dakka helun terkam itur kuruma ki muhim kamekan rasul jumhuriya kam kabalu fa kuraba fa babe ade komme harikavas mi october mas mi fa kurani breast cancer awareness mahoge gotuga mi mastere karmana komme harikavas mi tafat harkayta ke kuriya kende ka fa kolve me gotu mi farwas ami kom har kumi baba pink ribbon run am kuriya gengos babe raja ka cancer ke mi halata balala ro kam kuri mis fa kuri mi pali mi ganani iturwamu azuanu na adi umru dwasmi mi hunge met kaves me bale ituramu anna kam fa koleve mi ke tere ka mi himene balta ke tere ka mi fa kuri veni breast cancer raja ke ituramu anna ka adi lege cancer thyroid cancer anke je cancer mi raja ka amu cancer tawge gotka fa ke ba kureve amena mi haru mi libin huri malumat ka balala ruka raja ka malaya addu halif hadalu ashabene ra atuluka mi bali jehe mi hunge nota mi bali jehe ke report ku fati mi hunge adadu ituru kan aba fa kureve mi har sarkar masake kuramu ekandani mi raja ka cancer bali tahmal kuramu ta mi hunge atafa saptan ekko furihama got ka mikan dena gatu mataka mikotun ka mi registration mi ikulawaluma masake fashafa mani mi hatadan ayru ka mali sarahatu ka hata sasthya ken ha mi hu mi bigota daftaru ka registry ko fa wa kan fa koleve adal me mi genesteni mi breast cancer awareness symposium fashion ke rasmiyatu mi hasabu mi rasmiyatu geneste mi nimuni rabal tanna sara fabira de rakka ter bagutakkan etuma makvelana assalamu alaikum